In the next 5 years, we'll invest about $500 billion US in improvement of infrastructure for power, roads, ports, etc. And in the next 10 years, it will be more than $1 trillion of investment in improvement of infrastructure. Power, there is such a shortage of electricity. In the cities, there are power cuts, shortage about 12.3%, and same roads quality is very poor. India's power industry already, Korean companies are doing very well, and you would see this Doosan Heavy Industries is supplying to this Mundra project to Tata Power Company. They are also supplying to Reliance Power. They are mostly 800 megawatt turbines. They also have very major engineering and construction projects, not only Doosan but other companies also, more than $1 billion worth. So in the area of power, there is already a lot of partnership. But here what I would request and suggest is that the Korean company should not just come as a contractor or as a seller of turbines, come as an investor and become long-term partners and for long-term gains and benefits from the rise in our economy. This is a new sector which is being opened, the nuclear power sector, and again you have a lot of good capacity. And when President Lee Myung-bak was there, then it was decided that a framework will be established for collaboration between India and Korea in nuclear power sector, and we have very ambitious plans for growth in this sector. But already contacts have started between KEPCO and the Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, and I am very hopeful that there will be very good results. In the port sector, there are many opportunities already. Hyundai Construction, they have contracts for dredging, for making new ports north of Chennai, and there are all kinds of very good opportunities in the development of ports and container terminals, etc. in India, which has been privatized. These are opportunities in ports. A very important new project in India is development of new freight corridor, because our railway lines are totally choked. They are doing the full capacity transit and traffic movement. So these are two new routes being made with new railway tracks. This will be about $15 billion US, but major funding is coming from Japan, from Delhi up to Mumbai, and so they may get some contracts. But this corridor, which is to the east, will be funded by World Bank and Asian Development Bank and Government of India funds, and there huge contracts will be opened for international competitive bidding. Even here there will be some development of industrial townships, and also of course for railway equipment, etc. there will be international competitive bidding. Metro, you are already a big partner. There is a huge program of construction of metros in India. Delhi is already operational, in Bangalore, Chennai, and I am happy that Hyundai Rotem has been a very major supplier of these rolling stock, these passenger vehicle cars to India, and I think their total contracts are already about $1 billion worth. Telecom industry in India has grown very fast, and as we move towards new services, 3G, WiMAX, etc., we will need more equipment, more consultancy, and there will be more opportunities for investment. Chemicals, we have a lot of, in fact there is export of chemicals from India to Korea and from Korea to India. There is a new policy to have petroleum, chemicals and petrochemicals investment region, where these regions will be devoted to chemical industry. There will be plenty of water, etc. available, and there will be pollution control measures, and we invite the Korean companies to come and invest there. And for that there is a exhibition, 6th India Chem 2010 in October in Bombay, and invite all of you who are interested to please come and see what all is possible in India, and you can get more information on this website. There are several factors which make India a favorite investment destination, but time is running short. I'll carry on. Consumer market in India is very specific, and you have to tailor your product for Indian market. For instance, there are frequent power failures in India, and Samsung and LG, what they have done in their washing machine, when if there is a cycle is running and power goes off, and when power comes back, then the cycle starts from the same place where it had got interrupted. And this is not done by Japanese companies or European companies. So how you tailor your products to the specificities of Indian market is very important. There is another, all surveys say that the foreign companies which are active in India are doing extremely well, even as compared to their parent companies or from their global performance. And this shows, this is the global, say 2009 I think, or 2008 figures, that or 2009, what have been the sales growth of the parent company or globally, and what has been the sales growth in India. You can say Hyundai Motors, like globally perhaps it grew by 6%, but in India the sales grew by 25%. Samsung Global 15%, Samsung India 29%, LG Global 12.5%. So because of the growing Indian market, you can make more, have more growth in India. The target for trade is $30 billion by 2014, and I feel it is very, very achievable. And at present we have almost $1.5 billion investment from Korea to India. And these are the sectors: automobile about 18%, metallurgical, this is the steel and copper and that kind of companies, 15%, electronics, Samsung, LG, etc., 15%, industrial machinery, and we'd like to see more investment in our infrastructure, chemicals, etc. These are potential areas for Korean investments in India, and we invite all of you to look at these possibilities. Hyundai Motors, they have just recently exported their 1 millionth vehicle from India. Now coming to what India is looking for, what Indian companies are looking for. And the first would be our information technology, IT sector, which is globally well recognized, well respected. And our software exports are now almost $50 billion, and our companies can give all kinds of services to Korean companies to make Korean companies even more efficient, even more competitive, and even more cost effective. When I was in Houston as Consul General, I used to talk to American CEOs, and they used to tell me that they first went to India for call centers or for just some cost advantage. But then they found that the Indian engineers, software experts, designers, and they were so good that they used them for actual R&D work as well as for IT enabled services. And I hope that with the participation and cooperation of all of you, a similar model is followed here. For instance, some Indian companies, they are outsourcing for the absolutely top American companies, and it is not low-end work, it is high-end work of different types.